Science is the backbone of the International Seafood Sustainability Foundation, and free, open discussion is the backbone of science. But the world is a complicated place. Time passes and knowledge expands. That's why, every so often, we find it helpful to clarify some of the misconceptions that circulate so freely online and face-to-face. Here are a few questionable opinions we've heard lately about fish aggregating devices. It's sometimes said that bycatch rates at FADs are unacceptably high, but are they really? Actually, they're relatively small. Around the world, non-tuna species in FAD sets account for only 2.24% of the catch, and that rate drops to 1.45% when you exclude commercialised species like minor tunas and bonitos. What about the juvenile tuna catch? Unsustainable? Not necessarily. In reality, the issues are complex. All fishing gears, not FAD-based purseine fishing alone, do catch juvenile tunas, and juvenile and adult catches both affect reproductive potential. So it's important to remember that juvenile catch doesn't equal unsustainable. Of course, protecting sharks continues to be an important challenge, but to single out purseine sets as unsustainable is misleading. Today, sharks amount to less than 0.5% of the total purseine fishery catch. That figure applies to both FAD and free school sets. Other gears can and do exceed it. The critical point is that mitigation practices have been developed and are gaining acceptance at sea. Now, how much stress does FAD-related ghost fishing exert on shark populations? Here again, reports of a growing crisis are misleading. In actuality, fishers have made dramatic progress on the entanglement front. Back in 2013, a study co-funded by ISSF associated high shark mortality with netting used to construct FADs. ISSF and marine scientists created non-entanglement guidelines, which the RFMOs now require. There's still work to be done, but entanglement concerns are getting serious attention. Sometimes we hear that it's impossible to manage the impact of FADs on marine habitats, but that's another misleading belief. Truth is, there are practical solutions, starting with guidelines for habitat-friendly FAD designs. And thanks to encouragement from scientists and NGOs, they're gaining RFMO acceptance. Although some fishers still prefer plastic-based construction, you can anticipate continuing advances in biodegradability and firm direction from RFMOs in the near future. FAD-based fishing. Unmanageable? That's just not true. Best management practices are gaining traction. Admittedly, 10 years ago, FAD management was almost non-existent. But since then, many NGOs have lined up behind best practices for purseine fishing with FADs. And in turn, RFMOs increasingly follow those best practices in their tropical tuna management programs. Through it all, we've never stopped making the public case for stronger FAD management measures. While ISSF has a stake in bringing the facts up to date, we will always welcome your input. And we invite you to join us in finding new pathways to the long-term conservation and sustainable use of tuna fisheries around the world.